was your week? Like I said, my week didn't really. It was like it was busy, but not like busy enough. Like I could have done more, but I didn't plan anything
Right.
specific. Because as you know, I started a new job, so I'm still kind of finding my way. Um, but I have to go into the office 3 times a week now, and I just feel like that makes me feel like I'm doing so much because I leave the house, but also like nothing gets done because I leave the house. So like life admin has to wait like after like I'm back at home.
The life admin. What's the life admin?
Life admin is like, you know, doing life things.
That's admin.
Yeah,
It's
like
like,
no. Okay.
what, hey Dave, what did you do on the weekend? Oh, you know, some life admin.
I think it's just that office people say that because
Some
like
oh, okay.
okay,
I've never heard of that.
but you work in an office as well.
Yeah, but I never heard people
Really?
saying like
So
life
basically,
admin.
you say life admin. I don't know.
What
Let
does
us.
it entail?
Okay, I don't know. Let us know what you guys think. Do you use it or not? But basically, how we use it is life admin is something that you just need to get done. It's not specifically fun or enjoyable, but just like, you know, like back in the day, you had to go to the bank, or like you have to pay your bills. It's like life admin, or you have to clean the house, or do the dishes, or wash the laundry. Life admin. I don't know. Running errands. Life admin. Like
Also the boring stuff.
the boring stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Admin is boring.
Yeah. Oh God. Admin is the worst.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because it's really funny because, funny, I don't know, like, because we switched roles where I used to be definitely out of the house 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I am sort of out of the house, but I'm more
But not like full time out. You
back
like
and
come.
forth.
Yeah.
So I still come in so you can go to work 3 days a week. So, and
How are you finding it?
there's a lot more planning now.
Yeah, it's not as
It's like,
as much freedom as you used to have
yeah,
to just leave and then
yeah,
you could just take stuff last minute. Whereas now because we have a dog, so just a bit of background for you guys. We have a dog and we can't leave her home alone all day, unfortunately. And also having a dog sitter every single day would be very very expensive in London. So we're trying to kind of look after ourselves. And so I used to work from home pretty much full time, or maybe went to the office once a week, twice a week, or every other week, like once a week, twice a week. And then Claude used to just go in like 3 times a day for sure, and then work from home. You work from home like Tuesdays, definitely, like a full day.
Tuesday.
And then Friday you work from home as well. You just maybe left for like a session or something. And now because I got a new job, we kind of changed positions and changed our roles. So I have to go in three
3 times a day.
like a
three
three
times.
times a day, 3 days a week, 3 times a week. Oh, that's the same thing. Yeah.
3 times a week.
So 3 days a week I have to go in. So it's not as flexible as my previous position. And then obviously Claude is staying home so that he can look after Piper. And yeah, so I definitely feel for me like I don't get as much done, you know, like I said, life admin because I have to go in, and like it's definitely a little frustrating having to go in 3 times a week instead of choosing to go in, which I would never choose, so maybe that's good. I do get my steps in though, so that's good. More movement, and you know, if the weather is nice, I can enjoy the weather. But other than that, it's definitely been a huge change for me.
Yeah, it definitely has been a huge change. Yeah, not as much for me as it has for yours because you have to go in. But also, I feel like if your day job is admin or mostly admin, a lot of time gets wasted traveling to your admin job when like in the modern times that we live in, you can do that admin at home.
But
So I kind of feel um, like not with all jobs, but like most admin jobs, really, like I don't see the point of going in to the office other than I guess the social element that you might be missing out on.
I think it depends on your job as well, because if you're like, you can still be admin and be customer facing at the same time. So you're the one, you know, like receptionists, for example. Yes, they do customer service, but they are, you know, yes, they do admin, but they are customer facing. So, for example, our like receptionists, they have to go in every day because they have to be there. Whereas for me, honestly, I could easily do my job from home. We're currently doing a strategic move. We're moving like our entire office to a different building, so I'm organizing that. So yes, it helps for me to actually be in the office and meet people, and because then I see, you know, how much stuff we have, what's been done, all that stuff. Yes, that does help. But I'm thinking like, you know, after we've moved to a new office, I could easily just work from home. But I guess it's kind of like a department policy to have people in 3 days a week for like collaboration and that kind of stuff. Whereas I'm more the kind of person who is happy to work from home, and I do my best job at home because there's no people to annoy me. But it's different for everybody. Like, you know, some people love going in and they come in more than 3 days a week just because they enjoy the social aspect and all that. I don't really enjoy the social aspect that much. So, but for you it's a little different. I mean, you can, you have admin, but also, you know, you have to kind of do the social part.
I'm meeting people
constantly.
You know, that there is quite a lot of like the face-to-face stuff that I have to do for work, which are also obviously tied into like job performances and stuff like that. So like, yeah, like for me, like my role can never be fully home based. It can be home based in terms of I can base my office at home, travel to and from sessions.
Yeah.
But definitely not completely home based. Yeah. What else have I done this week? I learned how to bake this week. Is this week, yeah?
No, that's a couple of weeks. You've done that a couple of times now. So
yeah, like 3 times, twice.
No,
yesterday and today.
Today was 3rd time though.
Okay.
So you've done. I think you did it start of May. So it's been 3 weeks ago. He learned how to bake one thing, not like everything.
Like I'm
one
like
thing.
Because I'm like I like to think of myself like a dishum, right? Like we have a set menu, right? Okay, and that's all we do, right? But we're good at that, right?
But you don't even have a menu. You just have one thing.
Yeah, I mean, no. In terms of baking, yes, one thing. But that's what I'm saying. It's like a restaurant. It's like a dish. So you got the chicken and rice dish. I don't have names for these.
We know all the restaurants have set menus.
Well, like not like you know how a dish only has like the menu's not that big. It's really
condensed.
It's small. That's how I view it. You do.
Okay,
minimal things really well.
Okay, tell me all the dishes that are in your set menu that I can choose from.
Well, obviously the chicken and rice dish.
Okay, no. Let's start with breakfast.
Breakfast, I can make a very good omelette. You know.
He can.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, I can make a good omelette.
Yes.
So.
The cheesy one. Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly.
It like melts in your mouth. It's amazing.
It's a trade secret. Don't tell anyone. There's cheese.
You just said
you just said it's a cheesy omelette.
Yeah, but
I won't say how I
secret,
make it so melty.
But the secret, the secret is not the cheese. The secret is other things.
Sure.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Okay, lunch.
Lunch. What can I make for lunch. Well, for lunch and dinner, there could be similar things. I feel like because I can make the chicken. I mean, is there like a lunchy meal and a dinner type meal that you can't have on either time?
I mean, you could, but usually like lunch is I guess a bit lighter because you're still like moving on and you don't want to feel like
I don't know what the light
much.
meal means.
Like a salad.
I don't eat light meals.
That's true. We were trying to like do like really healthy diet and eat a lot of vegetables, and you guys have no idea how many vegetables I have to buy just to fill up this one.
I've got a black hole in my stomach. It's supposed to be.
Honestly,
Takes
it's
a while
true.
to fill out. So like so go the chicken dish that which I can make. The chicken
With the mushrooms.
With mushrooms.
Oh, that's so good. It's like a slow cooked chicken with peppers, mushrooms, and then in it like a tomato based sauce. It's very good. Took him a couple of times to get it right though.
I mean, I thought the first time I made it was quite good. No? Oh, really? So you lied to me this whole time?
I didn't want to discourage you.
What? You lied to me this whole time. You were
okay.
You were so good at this. That's why I continue to make it.
No. Okay, actually, yes, I think it was. I think I mixed it up with another dish.
Another dish?
I don't know. Oh no, never mind. It was the one that you put vinegar in.
That was one time.
Yeah,
I tried something.
It was so gross.
And here's why. Here's why you stick to your set menu. I tried something, and it failed.
No, but then another time you tried something with you made like this chicken in the oven. And it was like a grilled chicken or something, and that was amazing. That was so good.
That's probably I don't know where I got that. I don't remember making that. Anyway, like I said, I'm like Disham.
Okay.
Set menu, really good at it.
But Disham has more choice. You just literally have one breakfast food, one lunch or dinner, and then.
I'm more exclusive than Disham. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Well, exclusivity.
More exclusive.
Let's discuss your uni days. Not that exclusive.
Wow, we're talking about cooking. That is uncalled for.
Oh, sorry.
We're talking about cooking. Alright?
Moving on.
Cooking. Alright. Anyway, moving on. Next subject. We just change the subject right now.
Okay. We wanted to kind of talk about social media today. And mostly because I think we've kind of discussed it off camera a lot of times. And I was saying how I started this new photography Instagram page, like a separate one, and kind of how I feel like is the social media pressure of like having to post every single day or constantly having to post is a lot, because I feel like I honestly don't know how social media influencers do it, because they constantly have to have their camera or a phone with them and film all the time, and like I'm the kind of person who just tries to enjoy the moment, and I forget to take pictures of things and I forget to film things, and then I realize like, oh shit, like I didn't film anything, so then I don't have anything to post. And I truly feel like social media is definitely not for everybody, and I can see like where the creator burnout is coming from, constantly having to like always record everything that you're doing, and I even feel like created this new photography page, like I don't go out and take pictures enough, like I don't really post like every single day, just because I just don't have that many pictures, and again, like we have full-time jobs, so don't really have time to like constantly go out, walk for hours and find places, and also we haven't really been traveling as much lately because of our dog, and we're planning to get back into it, but I feel like it's just so hard, isn't it?
I mean, yeah.
One second. Open this up. I think. Wrong one. Okay. Okay.
I mean, it's definitely difficult because I feel like it depends what the motivations you have in trying to start like a social media page, and for a lot of people, uh, having followed different influencers, it's about at the end of the day creating a following, the following hopefully creating some sort of of an income for you to then enjoy the things that you're doing. So for example, if you're into photography and traveling,
Or like pay for the trips where I
yeah,
can take those photos, or pay for new cameras and new
yeah,
equipment.
but in order to get there,
Mm.
like there is a lot of pressure to continue like posting, and there's so many different ways to post, and you have to use every single one of them. So like from your stories, from your
Yeah.
posts,
Reels, photos.
live TV, all this kind of stuff
Yeah.
that you have to sort of keep up to. Otherwise, the algorithm just doesn't pick you up.
It's just too much.
It
I
feels
feel like
it feels like it's a lot.
I also feel like trying to I'm the kind of person who I don't really like curated well, I probably enjoy curated content when someone else is doing it, but I feel like being authentic is kind of important in social media, and I'm all about that. And I also just feel like being authentic is easier than curating content because less planning goes into it, I guess. Because if you're authentically just look like Raggedy Ann, then you just look like it, and you don't have to get ready before filming or doing all this stuff. And I guess I feel like I just lost it now. I was getting. What do you? So how do you feel like about effects on social media on your mental health? Do you? I mean, I know a lot of people have spoken up about it, and there's so many people kind of looking at other people's pages and then only seeing the good parts and how fancy their lives are, how much they travel constantly, or they have those big beautiful houses and all that, and then half of that is not true. How do you feel about that?
For me, I kind of already know that it's fake, so it doesn't really affect me as much. For me, what does I guess affect me in terms of social media, especially social media influencers, is the things that at least they say they're able to do because of social media. So if it is I think I follow this one guy who's a photographer. It's like a travel photographer, and he just him and his partner bought like a new villa in Bali, and I think they just adopted some puppies or something, some stuff like that. And I was like, oh, because we've been to Bali, and I enjoyed our times there, and just being able to do that and not worry about your 9 to 5, it's really appealing. But they're already made influencers. If you understand what I'm saying, he's not having to for example, he's already done the day one, and then he worked really hard, and I'm sure he dedicated his life to making his dream come true.
Countless hours of
and it finally came true, and then now he's just he's reaping.
He can enjoy. He's in the enjoyment stage.
Yeah, he's of his hard work, and I respect that. However, I don't think there's many influencers who actually are honest about what it took
to actually get there.
Because I feel if they're really honest about it, listen, countless sleepless nights where I have to be churning out content after content, and it can be
missing times with your friends and family, and
it's soul destroying, because like I'm always trying to find something new, so like another angle for someone to follow me, or then to increase my the eyes that are on my profile, and then hopefully that translating into like people wanting to like fund my trips, blah 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 blah, all these kind of things that goes into it, no one talks about. So when someone new who's coming into it can be quite disheartening, because at first it's saying like, listen, you need to be just like really really consistent with your content, like churning out content as much as you can, but no one tells you how soul destroying that is.
And there's like this understanding of perfectionism in social media, where like you kind of have to look perfect, and like like no work goes, but kind of no work goes into it, or like the videos, and like it's so easy for me to just do it, but that's not what it is, right?
Yeah, you just need someone to be like, listen, I'm here now and I'm making this obscene amount of money, but here's how I started it. And even with that, it becomes really difficult, because like they could be like, oh, so this is what I did, I worked so hard, and I struggled, like I think there was one guy who was talking about, he used to like mow lawns, so he can, which didn't take up much of his time in a day, so he can concentrate more on like social media.
So do kind of jobs that are not like 9 to 5.
But you and me, first of all, in the UK, I don't think mowing lawns don't pay that much money. But also, you and me can't do that because we rely on each other, we're keeping the lights on and paying the rent. So if one of us is like, well, I'm gonna take some time off my 9 to 5, which is paying the bills, to then start doing like a job that gives me a lot more time in a day, but maybe most likely it's not gonna pay me as much. It becomes a risk that you can't really take.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel that way, and I think that like I feel like the 9 to 5 has gotten a really bad rap. But let me tell you something, like, that sounds like I'm a parent or something, but I've seen, like, I'm part of like a lot of communities that have like different creators in them, and honestly, like 9 to 5, depending on your 9 to 5 actually, like my job, well, I actually work 8 to 4 because that's what I want, but when I finish work at 4, or when the clock hits 4 o'clock, then I am done, right? I'm not there. Sometimes I stay maybe 10-15 minutes later just to finish an email or whatnot, and very very rarely do I stay longer than that. If there's like a specific event, or we have like an away day or something, very like a specific thing, yes, that happens maybe once or twice a year, okay? Other than that, I am there from 8 to 4, and then I am done. Even if I would work 9 to 5, I would be there from 9 to 5, and then I was done. And like I said, it depends on where you work, and a lot of people cannot do that. They can't just leave at 5 o'clock, although that's what they should be doing if your contract says 9 to 5, right? So I do understand that, because I've worked like that before, and I, like in a private sector. Back then I worked like a 9 to 5, but then I always ended up leaving like 6, 7, 8, sometimes like 8:39 if I had a lot of work to do. But considering that I just work 8 to 4 and I leave at 4, and then my time is mine, and like as someone who is a full-time like a travel creator, or creates some kind of content on either YouTube or any other social media channels like Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is that they're using, I feel like that is a lot more work, just because people think that you're getting out of that 9 to 5, that that's gonna be all great, and you have so much freedom, and you work for yourself, but then that actually means that you're going to be doing a lot more work than you would for 9 to 5, because now you're working for you, okay?
But that's the difference between a career and a job. A career is something that you're not going to mind putting in
the
extra
hours in, right? The only thing, like,
especially self-employed, when you're self-employed.
I feel like I would do, social media. I mean, obviously we're doing this YouTube channel, right? Because I think it's something that we enjoy, and also, let's be honest, it's not very hard to sit on the couch and then talk to each other. Yes, we do have to kind of think of what we want to discuss, and like we have some plans for the future that we're gonna do. Kind of interview other people, and we're not going to discuss that here in this video, but we have great ideas for this YouTube channel. But it would be a lot harder to be a travel creator, for example, and then we specifically have to be on the road constantly, filming with cameras, doing all that stuff. Like, it's a lot of work. So I feel like the good thing being a creator is obviously you get that freedom of working from anywhere. Like, currently we have to live in London just because our jobs are here, whereas if we would be, I don't know, full-time YouTube creators, we could live anywhere in the UK, or actually move out of the UK and move to somewhere else in Europe, or even, Southeast Asia, wherever we want, because we can do our job from anywhere. And I think that's one of the reasons why we would want to do the social media, is to have that freedom. Not because I'm trying to escape 9 to 5, just because if my 9 to 5 would let me work from anywhere in the world, and I wouldn't have to go into the office, and I would still have the same kind of 9 to 5 that I have now, that I work from 9 to 5 exactly, or like 8 to 4, and then my work day is done, I absolutely would not mind it. Because, like I mentioned before, I forget to like film things and be on top of it constantly. I just want to live my life and like just be who I am, and like enjoy things around me, rather than always looking things through my lens and through my phone. And like, I miss the back in the days, when we were like, just went outside in the forest, running around, there was no phones. I just kind of, it was simpler times. I sound so old, but I honestly think sometimes that
there's definitely like an issue when it comes to like, especially when you're starting off on your social media journey, of like comparing yourself to the finished article, which is comparing yourself to other influencers,
and especially the big ones as well.
Yeah, because first of all, there's no point, because at the moment we're filming this on an iPhone with like a dodgy mic. Right?
How dare you? That mic is not dodgy. The mic is really good. We're just not loud enough.
Compare it to like what someone else might have on it, like someone who's like doing interviews who has like.
I still want to say that the mic is not dodgy, okay? It's a Rode mic.
It's not a dodgy, but it's not a dodgy one. But for the purpose of
it's a very simple setup.
For the purpose of what we're trying to do, someone who has been doing this for a while and has the following, their setup is going to be really different. Like, probably a lot more professional. And so for people who are starting off, even like comparing the quality of your videos to like the videos of like or someone who's already done it, it's completely night and day. And if you're looking on a thumbnail on your YouTube, on like someone who's been doing it for years and has a following and a backing and a financial backing, and then someone who's just starting out, unless you're lucky enough to have like a really good camera, like, and you're really professional in everything already, what are the chances of you gonna be like dragging as many audiences as the other person? And that's one of the sort of things about social media which can really affect your mental health, because you feel like you're putting so much into it, but there's nothing coming back in, and you always feel like you're further and further away from your goal, and it's one of those catch-22, right? So you need money to get better equipment, and then have more time in your day to then get better at editing, blah blah blah, and this kind of stuff. But you also, because you need money, that means you have to work. You have to work, which takes you away from
what
doing
you
this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
so there's an element of sacrifice as well that you need to put in place on like.
So instead of watching Netflix after work or doing doing other things that
Yeah.
you enjoy, you just have to put the time into learning how to edit, learning how to do all this stuff, which what we're doing as well.
Which don't get me wrong, all these people who are really successful, that's what
that's
they
what
did.
they did.
That's what they did. They're just on the other end of it. But like
Yeah.
when you're starting off, and I don't know how many new YouTube channels are being made every day. It's probably like thousands, right? And so when you're starting off, you're trying to like stick out against all these other people. It can be quite demoralizing, and then you have to be. I think you have to be very conscious of your mental health, and think like, do I need to take time away from this in order to like recover a little bit, especially. And it's the same with anything that you do. If you go to work on your 9 to 5 every single weekday, and you feel like you're not going anywhere, and you're not getting anything out of it, that can be demoralizing as well.
And I feel like I just want to also add to it is that when you start a YouTube channel or like an Instagram page, or any kind of social media channel, and then if you compare yourself to someone else who's doing like a similar thing, or I'm assuming it would be a similar thing, make sure to actually go and scroll down on their page to when they're starting off and see what it was like then, because like Claude said, it is very easy for you to kind of get demoralized, and compare yourself and like envy other creators on social media, because you're comparing their your starting point and their like a height of their career or as a creator, or because they've already been doing it for like 3, 4, 5 years, and you're in day one, so there's always going to be a difference. And I know like a lot of creators are saying, who have been doing this for a while, is that just put the content out there. Like, don't wait until you're perfect, because you're never gonna be perfect right away. And if you wait, you're never gonna actually put any content out there. And that could take, for some people, perfection can take a couple of weeks, months. Some people, it takes years. And also, when you start putting content out there right away, you will then kind of also, can think about, is that what you want to do? Do you want to kind of talk about something else? Make sure that, you're putting out content that you actually enjoy. I think it's very
I would
important.
like to like speak to someone who's on the other end, who's quite successful already, and see if they do still feel the social media pressure the same way, because I can imagine it actually the pressure getting higher, because the more successful you are, and then you want to maintain that
success, right?
and then, and then that means you probably really being very overly analytical on the videos that you post out, and looking at the past ones, seeing that which one people liked, and trying to do the same things. I'm sure that sort of pressure sort of stays with you, and maybe even grows the more successful you are, especially the better your content becomes as well.
And I think it's also kind of, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like, if you've been doing this for 5 years, for example, then I definitely change a lot in 5 years. Like, things that I enjoy, that I like to do as a, change as a person, who I am as a person will change. So you would kind of think that my social media and like my self-image will also change in social media as well, or like YouTube. Whereas like, I think creators can probably feel the pressure to like be the same, because this is why people come to your page, to see the same old you. And then when you do something different, because maybe you've changed, you want to like do a different kind of edits or different kind of videos, or maybe you want to go from like vlogs to like very curated travel videos, or maybe you want to do it the other way around, and then you can't really do that because you feel that pressure that maybe people then won't follow you, or
continue to engage with your content.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I could definitely see that being actually quite a lot. I actually feel like maybe the best time to the best time to for you to almost be your most authentic self is gonna be earlier on when you can change because there's no one expecting you to have a particular type of content. You're still trying to figure
it
things
out what
out.
you're doing.
So you can actually try different things and find out where you are.
Always be whoever you are as a person. Like I know some people are changing their personas on social media, so they're one persona on the social media channel, and then they're not like that in real life, like with their friends and family. So it's very hard, especially if they get bigger. When someone sees them on the street, then they're constantly thinking about how they come off as, because if I see you on the street and I know you from social media in a certain way, right, like maybe the way you speak and like in a really like a posh English accent, and then on the street you're like go all Cockney, then I'm gonna be like, what the hell, right? And I think that's like really, it kind of affects people's like mental health as well, I think. So I feel like it's easier to just be who you are. That way you're the same in your social media channels as you are in real life, and you don't constantly have to like worry that what if someone sees you, and then
it's definitely like it's funny because I know this well, I don't know, and like I follow this social media influence person, and there was like a video that they posted, like apparently every single time someone's people meet him, they always say the same thing. I was like, oh, I thought you'd be taller.
Oh, really?
And like you could see it like quite affects him quite negatively because there's this image that he has whenever he's posting pictures or making videos, and people think that it's just like larger than life character, like he's very big and like very muscular and stuff like that.
Short.
But like it was, as soon as people meet him, it was I thought you'd be taller, and that actually knocks him down a little bit because you go from mostly people maybe admiring the way you look to then finding the one flaw that they can find and then pointing it out, and then that becomes an issue. Like I wonder like what you'd think about like especially couples in social media. So like us, for example. I think we're quite authentic and we don't really change based on what people either view or want us to be. But like for example, like say 5 years time, blow up, and this becomes like a massive channel, blah blah blah, and then people will probably pick up our personalities, and then maybe like would we feel the pressure to then maintain the same personalities when we're out in public, because we're quite talkative talking to each other now, but if someone like random person in the street tried to talk to me, I'll just be like so quiet.
I think as long as it's made clear that this is how we are, it's probably fine. Like, well, let us tell you now, yes, we are quite talkative to each other at the moment, but sometimes we've gone to the local shop to buy some stuff, and the whole way there we don't really say anything or barely say any words, and I feel like our relationship is the kind of relationship where like sometimes we just don't speak. Sometimes we like, I come home from work or you come home from work late, we have our dinner, yes, we kind of, ask each other how our day was, and just those like little things, but then we just sit here. If we're both tired, we don't feel like we need to constantly speak to each other. We just watch Netflix or movies or whatever, and then we just, when it's time to go to bed, we're like, okay, I'm done for today, and then we just go to bed. So I feel like I don't think that's going to change, and I don't feel like
there'll be like pressure
for
on
me
us to be like couple. Like,
yeah, I just feel like the thing is, I just am who I am. I've never felt pressure to be someone I'm not, and I think this is why my friend circle is quite small. But also, I have good quality friends because that's why people stay, because they know exactly who I am, they know exactly what they're getting, and I never pretend to be someone I'm not, because it's just so much easier to be who you are. And it's same with the relationship. Although I do think that if people would see us on the street or hear us talking, then we are a lot crazier in real life. So I kind of feel like maybe it would be the other way around. That like, oh, they seem so well behaved on YouTube, and then they see us in real life, and we just doing crazy things sometimes.
Well, by crazy, just saying crazy stuff, not doing crazy stuff.
Well,
I mean, not
sure.
all the time.
Yeah, not like illegal things.
No, yeah.
Talking about that, but
But
we're just our authentic selves, and I think this is why our relationship works so well. Is because we're both the same amount of nuts.
Yeah, just we'd have like the best way to describe it, I think I would say like offbeat conversations, like conversations that you're not gonna have with anyone else, and or if you do have with anyone else, they might be like, wow.
Yeah,
this
probably
person's a little nuts. Like Jesus Christ.
Like, dial it down a bit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, definitely. I feel like I've definitely found a right person for me who I can authentically be myself. I don't think like the conversations that you and I have had and the way we kind of are with each other, and even like with things that we sometimes do, like with noises and faces and like just randomly dance in the kitchen and stuff, like I don't remember having that with anybody else. Like, it's definitely been the most authentic with you, and I think that's why our relationship has lasted this long and like is this strong, is because we can be ourselves. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with someone where I can't say what I think or just be who I am.
Guys, can you imagine like starting again, like from the beginning?
No, I wouldn't. I think
like,
if this would end for some reason, I'll just be single. Yeah. It's just better, easier as well. Like, I mean, our relationship is good, but it's still, sometimes, we get annoyed at each other, and like, we don't really fight, but like, it's still work. Like, you still have to put in the effort.
Yeah, it's not perfect like all the time. It's just like
it's very close.
We get each other, and like when like you're mad, I almost feel like I know exactly what I need to do, and most of the time it's just give you space to calm down, to cool off. It's
more like you make it sound like I'm like angry.
No.
Like more like annoyed.
Like
maybe?
yeah.
Like,
I don't mean you turn crazy or anything like that. It's
not more than usual.
No, it's just like like I know like when you're not when you're annoyed, it's not gonna help for me to add on any extra words to like you know what I mean. It's just like just like you can always approach that subject when you're a little bit mellowed out. And that's the same for me. Like when I'm annoyed, it's like I'd rather someone just let me stew, let me cook in my head, and then once I'm done all that in my head, then I'm ready to have a conversation with someone with a level head.
Because you kind of have to think through what you're going to say, instead of like just saying what's in your head at the time of when you're annoyed. And this is why sometimes you're like, oh, when you come to me and you're like, oh, you want to talk about it, and when I say no, then you kind of get it, and then we talk about it later. And also kind of, and another thing with me is like, when I like get hurt, like physically hurt, like when I fall, I hate when people touch me. I just want to be left alone. And then it's so funny because it took you a while to like learn not to do that, because I guess your first instinct is still till now to come and be like, oh, you okay? And then I'm like, oh, don't touch me. But you're learning.
Yeah, it's such a counterintuitive thing. Right?
Yeah.
If you see someone who's hurt, you're always like, oh, I need to do something. But if you see you get hurt, I'm like, you alright? He's like, no! I'm like, catch you later.
Yeah.
So as long as nothing's broken and you're not bleeding, then I don't need to do anything. But that takes obviously 6
I'm very
years to
independent
learn.
that way.
It takes a long time to learn those little things about someone.
Yeah.
But anyway, and hopefully we can just remain our authentic self, even if the YouTube thing.
But do you think that if any of your social media pages would like blow up, that you would feel the pressure to like be who you were when it blew up, or
like for example, like if my the running page on Instagram blows up, I think I'll probably feel pressure to
keep running?
one, yes, but also maintain like the way I look.
Your physique.
Exactly. Yeah.
The six pack.
And also like continue to like maybe push the envelope in terms of like the running elements of it. Like if it's not marathons, it's ultra marathons. If not ultra marathons, that's saying crazy like run the UK or whatever. And those are exciting things to do, but I would like to do them because I want to do them, not because
you feel like you have to.
I needed something else to like keep people engaged.
But that's the social media pressure, isn't it? That you feel like you just constantly have to keep doing more and more and more. And I mean, I guess I kind of, in a way, I see it from a perspective of your followers, is that if you just keep sharing the same exact picture and you're not doing anything more or like anything different, then I just kind of feel like, well, actually maybe my time here is done, and I just go follow someone else who is doing different things.
When someone's unfollowing, it's like, well, time here is done.
that's what I say.
Next.
But you know what, like I kind of feel like I don't like, well, firstly I almost never comment on people's pictures unless I'm like really like what they're putting out there. I'm like, oh, like, or I have questions, or I'm like, oh yeah, I really love this video, blah blah blah. But I just feel like I've unfollowed so many creators because I feel like I've grown out of what they're doing, and I don't expect them to cater to my needs. Like they are who they are, and you know, it's the same thing with like who you're friends with, who you're dating. If they are not the kind of person, you know, you would wanna kind of be friends with or whatever, then just don't follow them. Like why judge those people and go and comment like, oh my god, like you're so boring now and you're not doing anything different. Then, you know, you're done with that person. Move to someone else who's maybe doing things that you find interesting. Like
approach it like a service. If that
exactly,
service
just unfollow.
Just unfollow.
Yeah, like why put hate out there? I feel like
and
I totally have that mindset. It's like, if you don't like my content, then fucking unfollow me. Like I am not here to serve your needs. I'm happy if you like what I put out there, and you know, I'm glad people are enjoying it. This is what, you know, I do photography, we do this channel, and hopefully that helps someone, and I'm happy. But if you don't like it, then just don't follow us. But talking about that, actually, do give us a follow, do subscribe to our channel, because that will help us grow, help us help more people, put out more content, and yeah, we would be very, very grateful if you would just subscribe.
That's usually people usually point
people usually say, I put a button here, button,
but there's never a button.
But there's never a button, and we
the
probably
button that says subscribe, click that one.
Yeah, if we can figure out how to do it.
You just press subscribe, and it should work.
And thank you in advance.
What's the guy from Parks and Recs? What does it say?
Parks and Recs.
Yeah. What does it say?
Yes. The mustache guy.
Yeah. Ron.
Ron, yeah.
Thank you and.
Come again?
No.
Oh no.
That's a poo. Please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you.
Oh, love Ron from Parks and Recs.
Yeah, he's like the energy I aspire to be is Ron. Just like not the fact that he doesn't like government, but he's in government, but like just doesn't give a shit. So, yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. That's everything. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you
Well
so
done.
much. If you actually finished this video, bravo.
Seriously.
I hope it helped. You guys comment below. Let us know what you think of social media, how you feel about social media. Do you agree with what we said?
And Jan, if you're just starting out your social media journey, like, do you fall victim to the same mistakes that I'm sure everyone does? I've done in terms of comparing myself to like people with like 12 million followers when I've got like
oh my God.
200. Like, yeah. And if you do that, like, don't beat yourself up about it, but just maybe you just need to reevaluate and for now just do it because you enjoy doing it.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Peace.